The United Kingdom, Keir Starmer says his government will recognize the state of Palestine unless Israel takes what it calls substantive steps to end the appalling situation in Gaza. After weeks of mounting pressure, the Prime Minister recalled his cabinet to confirm the decision before announcing it in a Downing Street statement. Israel's foreign ministry has rejected the plan, saying it constitutes a reward for Hamas.
Our goal remains a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable and sovereign Palestinian state. But right now, that goal is under pressure like never before. I've always said that we will recognize a Palestinian state as a contribution to a proper peace process at the moment of maximum impact for the two-state solution. With that solution now under threat, this is the moment to act. So today, as part of this process towards peace, I can confirm the UK will recognise the State of Palestine by the United Nations General Assembly in September.
A global affairs analyst, Collins Onwueke, joins me from Belgium for more on this discussion. Good to have you join us. But the UK has now joined that growing list of countries planning to recognize a state of Palestine after France. How significant are these countries in driving a desired change?
Thank you, Ambassador, for having me. Very significant. When you say growing number of countries, let me remind the viewer that we are talking of nothing less than 140 different countries spread across the world. And, considering that the United Kingdom has more or less, stood resolutely by Israel for such a very long time, and there has been so much hesitation in kind of deviating, considering that background, and now this statement by Keir Starmer actually, represent very, very significant pivots in UK foreign policy. It's a move from cautious diplomacy, which they had employed, all the while, to proactive state recognition aimed at influencing the trajectory of the Gaza conflict. So, yes, it is indeed a very, very significant, move by the United Kingdom.
But already, Prime Minister Netanyahu has condemned, these moves. He's spoken out about President Macron's decision. He has also spoken out about what Keir Starmer has said, calling it, a reward for terror. Said it's like the UK is appeasing and rewarding Hamas's monstrous terrorism. How do you react to this?
It is not surprising, of course, that, the Prime Minister of Israel will react in the manner that he did. But it is not the reaction of, the Prime Minister of Israel that should, raise any concern. It is also the reaction of a number of Labour MP, Labour being the ruling party of the UK. Now, is it a very strong, dissent? No, it is not very much, but there are, MPs, a group called MPs, in support of, the state of Israel. They have reacted, but also maintaining, some caution in terms of realizing how unpopular the, UK position in this conflict has been. And so, essentially, what most people that have reacted negatively are doing is trying to put some pressure on, Israel to actually, respect some humanitarian rules and indeed commit to a ceasefire, a lasting ceasefire.
Mr. Onwueke, that pressure. How much of influence do you think it could have at this time on Benjamin Netanyahu?
Well, the pressure is enormous, but, Netanyahu as well, internally, because within his, cabinet, there are ministers that are actually extreme in their position. for a number of reasons. The most important of which is that they too do not want to see an independent Palestinian state. So he's got to navigate that internal dynamics, but also the external dynamics, and he wants to also be seen to be strong in the sense that if he moves his position, he doesn't want it to look as if it came as a consequence of the threat issued by Keir Starmer. So there is a very, very delicate balancing act for the Israeli Prime Minister to actually undertake here.
And if very quickly we could talk about the conditions given by Keir Starmer. He says, his country would make that move if substantive steps are not taken to end the appalling war. And what do you think might qualify as substantive steps?
For a start, the UK Prime Minister wants unfettered access to Gaza. He wants a situation where humanitarian help is actually, allowed to come in. As a matter of fact, he was specific about allowing 400 lorries of humanitarian help from the UN and, allied organizations to come into Gaza on daily basis. At the moment, and the best of time, let me say, Israel has barely allowed a maximum of 150, 200. So that's a very, very tall order for Israel. But also, there is this feeling that Israel is not committing enough to a ceasefire. Now, he wants that stepped up as well, where Israel has got to, actually take very, very drastic steps to, actually prove that indeed they are committed to a ceasefire and ending the humanitarian toll that is actually taking place there. So those are the major conditions, caveats that are on the table for Israel to consider.
Global Affairs Analyst Collins Onwueke, thank you for talking to us on World Now.
Always a pleasure.